both those laps sucked.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived here at the Douglas County Dirt Track, and this is night number 2 of the 2023 Fastest 4 Days in Motorsports, night 2 of NARC Speed Week, as we continue heading. Listen to the fans in the background, they're already pretty pumped up. Night's getting started here. Douglas County Dirt Track, ready to get after it. This is our second show at this facility this season. And if you remember the first one, the racetrack was great at the beginning of the night. Like, it got slick quick. It was already 3/4 of the way up the racetrack, and then by the end of it, we all were kind of migrated to the bottom. So they've been working really hard here on this whole entire facility just to, you know, get through some of those early growing pains of a new dirt track. So I give them a lot of credit. The surface looks much better today than it did then. They kind of worked on the infield berm to make it harder to run the bottom. And then up top here, you can tell there's definitely more moisture, and they've almost added like a little bit of a man-made cushion. So they're really doing their best to try to make it to where this place gets wide, slick, has multiple grooves for us to race, and you know, I give them a big thumbs up for that. So yesterday, Southern Oregon Speedway started off our speed week on the right foot with a 3rd place finish, podium, best run in the 410 with KWS to date, and I feel like one of our strongest nights of the season. So that's good momentum rolling into the next you know, 9 busy days we have ahead of us. We're gonna get today's show started off though with qualifying, which will be just a little bit, and before that we'll have engine heat and hot laps. So gotta stand on the gas, another strong field of cars here, and we are gonna do what we can to get after it.
Dang it, guys, both those laps sucked.
All right, well, qualifying is complete here. 410 around this place, it's wild. You definitely have some wing speed. The straightaways, it feels like you get going into the corner, and then it's flat and there's not as much to hold you. Ended up 8th quick out of 18 cars. Definitely not great. You know, I felt like both laps were actually, I would say, garbage, and luckily they were just good enough to put us in a spot now where we have a chance at winning the heat race. We start outside front row of heat 2 next to Dominic Selzy, and if we win that, we can advance into the redraw. But you know, usually in qualifying it helps to go balls to the wall, wide open. And tonight the track, it just slicked off, and it actually, I think it was going to be better to get in hard and then actually lift a little bit and keep the car settled. See, I was trying to just foot to the floor, and it's almost like once I got past 80-85% throttle, the car was creating so much grip the wrong way that it was lifting the nose up and I was getting tight, where after the checkered, you know, my first 2 laps weren't great. After the checkered, I kind of lifted a little bit and then tried to run the corner differently, and it felt way better. My car was stuck, it was planted, and it just rolled smoothly and was easy to drive. So that kind of sucks because I could have done my job different, and I don't think my car needed a lot of changes. I just needed to change how I drove the racetrack. So anyway, that's behind us. Heat race will be up next. We're starting on the front row, and if we win this, like I said, we'll go to the redraw. If we don't, we'll be starting behind those cars.
close to him.
There was like a lap or two at the end where I definitely was better, but it sucks. I should have.
Well, that first start, you know, you were right in the middle and you just spun your tires.
Yeah, well, it just, I should have.
But I thought you were going to give him that second start was really good.
No, I know. It takes so long to slide through the slick, and it feels like you're gonna spin. Like,
you don't want to hit him.
Well, I mean, the first time when I slid him, I almost spun, it felt. You know, you're so crossed up.
So the heat race is over. Just climbed out. The good news is our car was much better than qualifying. I felt like it was more drivable, and we gave ourselves a shot racing there with Dominic for a lap and a half on the second restart. The bad news is we didn't win the battle with the 41, and so now we're gonna start behind the redraw cars. It sucks with where the racetrack is at because it's so slick everywhere but the top that we're all kind of just fighting for that lane. And when you go to peel off to throw a slider like I did, the first restart I had so much momentum from the grip off of 4 that I could make it work. But the second time when we both were more even with momentum because he caught that grip when he slid me, I just wasn't able to make it happen. It's just such a slow slide without spinning out. So it is what it is. If I could do anything different, I maybe would have just tried to peel off quicker from his slider on me and try to catch some of the grip at the very bottom of 4. It would have been a long drive down, but maybe that was my only other option. At the end of the day is what it is. We gave ourselves a chance. We at least got a redo after that first start, which was no good, and our car is way, way better, and we're heading in the right direction. So we'll have one more shot in 30 laps to try to improve and start somewhere between 7th and 10th. Well, we're heading out for 30 laps. We start 9th, so right in the middle of the pack. They just did a rework on the surface, mainly on the bottom, and then touched the top a little bit. So the surface is gonna go through some changes. I think you could see some of us down low early, and then once the bottom burns off, we'll have to move to the top. But I do think we'll be able to make the top work as well. It just depends when they go and till dirt like that. It just makes it to where the material starts to move as we get out there and start running. So therefore, like I said, the track's gonna experience a lot of changes. So starting 9th, just want to work our way forward, run a smart race, and try to put ourselves in contention at the end, be top 5, and chase the podium. They're calling us.
This is your last call. If you're not here in 30 seconds, you are late.
So we ended up having a late night after Douglas County, just quickly trying to get the car turned around for the rest of Speed Week and everything we had ahead that I did not get a chance to recap after the feature. You know, on paper, our results, we went forward, but it was a little disappointing that we ended up backing up after getting all the way to 4th on the initial run. And it was also disappointing just kind of, I feel like, how the racetrack turned out. It ended up being super bottom dominant. Like you saw early, I shot up past all the guys that were on the outside row, they dropped back, and then I got stuck on the outside row on that double file restart when I was in 4th, and I dropped back. Looking back now with just how heavily they worked the bottom, it kind of just made that lane so fast. Maybe if they also would have additionally touched the top, it could have sped that lane up a little bit with speeding up the bottom, and then maybe we could have moved around between both grooves. But overall is what it is. We did go forward. I just was hoping all of a sudden quickly within a couple laps when I was almost, you know, in the top 3, I'm like, man, we're running really good here, and if we can get rolling still and get in the right lane, we were going to be, you know, maybe looking at a top 5 podium kind of contend. But unfortunately, that's just kind of not how things went. And then also my nose wing got knocked down on lap 6. We were having some serious problems with our front posts. Literally the second time in 2 nights, the front posts just like they're stressed or they're brittle and they just break, and they were brand new. So we're going to switch away from the ones we've been running and you know, choose a different option, because obviously you can't have that happen. Once you lose a nose wing and it drops down, it hurts your chances of winning, and in a way just kind of ends your race as far as trying to move way forward. But anyway, that's a recap of Douglas County. Started 9th, finished 7th, cars in one piece, and now we are going to be heading to Willamette Speedway next. Thank you guys so much for watching and riding along with us for our journey. We have many more nights of racing and videos to come throughout the next couple of days. Deuces.